So yesterday was the second time that I facilitated an inner dance. So I was with a friend yesterday and I was doing a transpersonal coaching session with him. And it was really awesome. After we did it, he felt like so elated. It was so funny because before the session, he didn't want to do it. And then after the session, he was so elated because he felt he had got so deep into his subconscious. He had so much that came up to understand himself, to understand his struggles, to understand his heritage. And it really made me warm in my heart to see that unfolding before me. I didn't do anything. I was just there guiding him through it, but I didn't do anything per se myself. So after we went home, I asked him if he wanted to do a session with me. Just lie down on the ground and I'm gonna play some music. He lay down on the ground. Now he has done three sessions of KAP, right? He lay down on the ground, put on the music, and as soon as the music started, it's so subtle. It's like there's like my eyes close and there's this contraction of energy in my forehead, and it concentrates, and all of a sudden there's like this shift of consciousness, and it's like there's a spaciousness inside my body, and there's almost like a water or a wind flow, wave that's moving, and I feel very present, very intensely present, but I'm not looking through my perception of how I usually relate to things. I'm looking in this neutral state, almost like a non-dual state, where I just like see him. So I started to immediately focus in on him, and my hands started to move, and I felt how my hands started to feel the energy inside his body. So it was moving up the kundalini energy. At a certain point, like, I was placing my hands near his body so that he received some. Sometimes I would speak something. A lot of times I would flute, like, and that flute, it was all happening by itself. And while it's happening, you're in this timeless state where you're just like aware. You're just participating and witnessing. You're witnessing how everything is unfolding, and you're not even commentating. It's like there's some kind of thoughts that are very subtle that still can come through, but you don't really, they don't impact you. You flow through this experience. It's like a moving dance, and it goes on and goes on, but he's just lying there. He's not moving. He's not having any reaction. And at a certain point, like, I stood up and I danced myself, and then I felt the energy, like, it closed up. Did something like this, and then the energy like dissipated, and all of a sudden, like, it's like I had control of my body again. I was out of the trance. So I guided him back out of the session, and he got up, he sat down, and he said, like, whoa, this was so interesting, because he has done 3 KAP sessions, and he said, you know what I realize now? This is the first time that I've been able to fully immersively relax myself, to fully go deeper and deeper and deeper, to just surrender to the process. It was like, because with KAP, I had these expectations of what could happen, should happen. So I wanted to make things happen. He was like, when looking back now, I realize in KAP, sometimes I would move, or I would shout, or I would do things just to do something, because I was eager to have an experience. And this time I was just lying. But he's like, in the beginning, like, I started to see like images, stories. I would see like these ancestral stories come up one by one, one by one, one by one. And then I would feel like somebody was touching me, and nobody was touching me. And he said there was this fear, like, oh my God, is he summoning bad spirits? Is something wanting to interact with me to do something bad? But then he said, I just trusted you and I relaxed. I let it go. And he's like, I started to sink deeper in my awareness. I was the witness, I was awareness, and then at a certain point, he said, I went beyond that, and I felt into the great void of nothingness, where nothing was. no stories, no perception, no ideas, no self, nothing, no joy, no happiness, no desire, no pain, no suffering, nothing, no past. And he just stayed there for a very long time, and things were moving, things were shifting. And he said, while I was there, I realized, like, wow, like, it's just existence. Like, the existence is just without meaning, without anything attached to it. Everything that is given meaning, it's from our own head, right? It's our contextualizing interpretation. And I was so enthusiastic to hear that, because at certain points I would like guide the energy. Well, my hands would guide the energy through his throat, and I would feel that there was a block. So there was like I felt that things were happening. I saw symbols, I saw some certain chakras. It was all passing through my mind's eye, and the process was unfolding. And he said, now when I go to KAP, I realize I don't care if I move, or if I have some experience, or if I shout, or whatever. I just realize that I just lay down and I surrender and I let things happen. I don't have to make anything happen. It's just, you have to drop the expectations. Now for me, honestly, I did not believe that this process could unfold, or something like this could happen, without having some kind of initiation or transmission, right? I would think, like, to facilitate an energetic process like that, where one is facilitating and the other person is having his experience, the participant is having his experience. I always thought that, this person, he needs some special ability that unlocks this gift in him. Like, wow, I can now manipulate energy, I can now do this. And like, I didn't receive any transmission to my knowledge. I just signed up for the facilitator training, and I went through the lessons and I followed the lessons, and all of a sudden it's a possibility, and the possibility is manifest itself into a reality. And it's so surprising that all it takes is just be willing to be a vessel for love, for consciousness, for awareness. Yeah, to just be a vessel. You just allow yourself to surrender and to let go, to be used, to let it move through you. And it's very enjoyable. It's timeless. It does take you do feel a bit like afterwards, like, whoa, that was quite intense. Even though it's very joyful and pleasant, it's very intense, because it's a lot of energy, and it's very present work. It's like you're on this tightrope. You're like, everything is like so meticulously calculated. It's like a dance of energy with certain forms, which is always symmetrical and always calculated. But it goes beyond the mind. You're not doing it. It's just happening. I had this doubt also, like, the person is not moving, so I cannot actually be doing anything. Maybe I'm just imagining it all in my head. Maybe these images or these things that I'm doing, it's not really happening. But now I start to understand that it's beyond what I project on it. It's beyond my understanding. And yeah, I was so glad to hear about his experience and how it affected him, how it impacted him. Yeah. Anyway, thank you.